Curtain motors for your livestock and dairy barns, freestall barns. This is our low voltage AutoVent motors. We've got like 5 models sitting here, smallest to the biggest, adapters, cord guide. I'll go over what you need and what's important. So CMD-72, we'll talk about the smallest one first. This is good for bottom rolling curtains up to 72 foot long. This is a 115. It's good for bottom rolling with a 2-inch shaft, a Keter shaft. It's good for 115, but we've actually found out 130, 140 actually works pretty good. Here's a CMD-150. This is a single shaft. This will easily do up to like 220 foot. So the numbers sort of hold out, but not 100%. Here's a CMD-180. This will do 220 foot bottom rolling 2-inch Keter. This is a CMD-401. This will do 400 foot of 2-inch bottom rolling. So while I'm saying bottom rolling, that's when the curtain rolls from the bottom. When you roll from the center where it's actually pulling the bottom up and moving up at the same time, you've got to derate by no less than 50%. So if this does 400 foot, it would, best case is doing rolling up 200 foot from the center because it's going twice as fast. Then if it gets windy, it'll barely even do that because it blows in again. If you've got rubber bird wire in there, it'll just make it go so hard when it's rolling from the center. So bottom rolling are the numbers that I was all talking here. They each have their limit switch built in. So you set how they start by these little limits here. Each one has it. The 180 is much easier to set because they're pointed towards you, but this one is as well. And also I'll go over the advantages and disadvantages of each one. So the 72, its advantages is small. One disadvantage is it don't do real long curtains, and these the adjustment knobs point out the end. So if you're in a curtain pocket, it's a little hard to get to them. This one, same deal. This is stronger, do up to 130 foot, no problem. This one right here, this will do your 200 some foot end drive. I recommend going to a center drive as soon as you can, because when you do an end drive, curtain kind of hangs a little bit over the life of the curtain. I've noticed that they hold up better when the motors are being held from the center, or the fabric holds up better. In the long run, it just seems to not get beat up as much when you're lifting the motor from both sides because it doesn't side tension it so bad. This is a 401, is much more powerful. It is longer. From this point down to the bottom, you're well over a foot. So if you're at the bottom curtain down against the earth, you hardly have enough of room. This creeper can be flipped the other way around, and then you don't have as much closer. How they hold up, I'll go over that. These hold up very well. This unit, and the CMD-180, almost no problems whatsoever. There's not as much to them because smaller motors. These, after about 3 years, we had a couple units. There's a contactor in here for the limit switches, and we had some of those contactors fail in the 3 to 5 year time frame. They're replaceable, but that's one thing we noticed. And these have a contactor in them as well. We had one of them fail. Also, some of the early models of these, they did not have the right seal in here. So when the motors were pointed down, we had a couple get grease in the motor. So there was a seal in here, the grease went down, and got to brush it. So that's the good and the bad about these motors. These small ones and this one, almost no problem. These we had with these 2 models, we did have a contactor go out already. They are replaceable. In this one we had seals. The replacement motors have a better seal around the shaft. So there you know, these are low voltage motors. We also have 120 volt versions of this one and a 240 volt of this one. So we'll show you those in another video, but these are low voltage motors, and the advantage of low voltage motors for your livestock curtains is they're easy to wire, and you can go mess with them. If the cow chews on them, no harm is done. With 120 volt and above, you got to be more careful. Some people don't like them because they're not as strong, if you will, but it's kind of all in the application. So if you've got smaller curtains, these do a really good job, and they're inexpensive. Also, we believe big time in the cord guide. All of our livestock motors come with cord guide. You thread the cord through here, and it goes up and down with the motor. It prevents the cords from getting tangled up. Years ago, I've seen people putting a pulley at the top and weights for the cord, but with this, you thread the cable through there, fasten it to the motor and the wall, and it just makes things work over a long period of time. Our goal is that you just don't have that these roll up nice and even throughout their whole life, because you do not want the cord getting mangled. That's a big deal when that gets mangled. So We also have the adapters. This is for a 1.3 inch. This is a Keter adapter for brand A. Here we got brand B. Just ask us. We've got all the different adapters and can make them for you. So there you go. These are the different motors, the cord guide, and all the different models we got for our low voltage motors.